Alright, hello everybody, I'm back with another video. This time we're going to be playing the game Mushihimesama Futari, and I got the 1 credit clear of the novice mode on the ultra difficulty, so I'd like to go through that. So let's get started. Here we go. So there's a lot I would like to say about this game. It's really fun. So, first of all, my previous video was on the original Mushihimesama, and I mentioned that it's pretty easy to get a hold of these days. You know, it's on Steam and the Switch. This game, Futari, not so much. The only home port they've done of this game, at least at the time of this video, was on the Xbox 360. And to play this, I'm actually using the Xenia emulator, which is an emulator that emulates the Xbox 360. So, little note about Xenia is that replays on this game actually do not work. If you try to save a replay, it just doesn't work. So thankfully, I figured that out before making this replay. So what I did is I just recorded myself doing the run in real time, and then that's what we're watching now. So, okay, a little bit about this game. There's actually 2 characters you can choose from. You can choose to play as Rico, which is who we're using here. You can also play as another character, Palm, and they each have 2 shot types, normal and abnormal. So, from my observation and what I've heard online, abnormal Palm is the best character in this game. For this run though, I use the normal Rico. Okay. And like I said, we are playing on the novice mode here. The novice mode in this game, compared to the original Mushi, is really easy. And that is because it gives you an auto bomb. So if you get hit, it will bomb for you. You don't have to worry about bombing. And that kind of makes this novice mode somewhat easy. So if you want to play the novice mode, what you have to do is go under the arrange mode, and then you will find it. So when I first started this game, I was looking, where's the novice mode? It's under arrange. Yeah, so this game is really cool. You know, lots of memorable stages and bosses, such as this dinosaur we're fighting right now. That's really cool. And the soundtrack is amazing. So it has the same power-ups, pretty much, as the original Mushi, except now there's no more option power-ups. The options are kind of built into your character. And unlike the original Mushi, there is rank in this game. But there's the same 3 difficulties, original, maniac, and ultra. Same mechanics with the rapid shot and focus shot and the bomb. Another difference between this game and the original Mushi is that now your hitbox is always visible, as opposed to only being visible when you use the focus shot. Right. So, right, now we're on to stage 2. Yeah, first 2 stages, again, not much to say, kind of like the original Mushi. These floating lobster guys, when you blow them up, you will get a bullet cancel, which is really nice. Yeah. On the first stage, one pattern to be aware of that I already wasted 2 bombs on is when the dinosaur breathes fire at you. You want to dodge the fire. Somehow, believe it or not, when I was playing, I did not even see him breathing fire. So I missed that entirely. Anyway, so another thing that gives you a bullet cancel on stage 2 is blowing up these rings of jellyfish. You can see right there, we just got another cancel. Also, you want to be careful not to get trapped over on the side of the screen like I did earlier, where I had to use a bomb. Yeah. So we'll blow up these jellyfish, and boom, look at that. Wonderful bullet cancel. Some more cancels here. Excellent. So I really like this stage. I think You know, the bosses are cool, the mid-boss and the boss. We get to fight a turtle. That's pretty cool. Like I said, I find the stages in this game a lot more memorable than the original Mushi. And I did die right there. But it's okay. So these things here, this flying ray, if you blow it up, you will see, there we go, it gives you a bullet cancel. So that's yet another thing that gives you a cancel. And I've noticed, just from my time playing in this game, that there are a lot of cancels in this game. It seems like a big component of it, which is really, really fun. Yeah, so I will definitely be playing this game some more. Maybe try and clear the Xbox 360 or arcade modes, because they are awesome. And I got kind of stuck there, had to use a bomb. This run is not off to the greatest start, but it's okay. I do end up getting the clear here. So on Novice mode, just before the boss, they're going to give you 2 bombs. If you're on the other modes, they only give you 1. And here we go, we get to fight like a flying squid type of thing, which is really cool. And he has one pattern that you're going to want to take note of, which we will see momentarily. Here we go. These white bullets, they get aimed right at you, so you want to kind of misdirect them, and then you can run away. Although I did get past that phase before it became a problem, but if you don't, just misdirect them, and then you can run away. Okay. So he kind of transforms. I don't really know what this is supposed to be. I think it's a squid. Looks pretty cool though. Like the dinosaur and the squid are just such cool bosses in my opinion. So just continue blowing up this boss. The soundtrack of this game is great too, like the boss music is awesome. There's another awesome track which we're going to hear later in the game. I will point it out when we get there. Alright, so we're going on to stage 3 now. And this stage has a big difficulty spike, similar to the original Mushi, but the difficulty in this stage is considerably harder than the first 2. So those big lanterns that you see we blew one up at the beginning, they give a bullet cancel. Those bugs coming out of the ground that we just blew up, they give you a bullet cancel as well. And these yellow bugs, like the one over on the left, they will give you a bullet cancel as well. So there's all kinds of canceling on this stage. Really cool. And these little flying green bugs that we see right here, they will give you a cancel as well. Though it's looking like I don't actually blow that one up. But if you blow it up, you will get a cancel. Right, so I'd like to mention a little more about scoring in this game. Similar to the original Mushi, you want to pick up the little amber gems. But you may have noticed in the top left there's 2 counters going. And so the first counter is your total gem counter. It keeps track of all the gems you've collected throughout the game. And then the one below is the stage gem counter. It keeps track of the ones that you collected on the stage. So a little bit different than the original Mushi, because this time if you die or you bomb, you get a penalty to your stage counter. However, in the original Mushi, if you died, your amber would just reset. This time you just get a penalty. so it works a little bit differently than in the original game. Right, so there's a bit of a frustrating segment coming up in a minute. I will point it out. These hordes of ladybugs, you kind of want to stay not all the way at the bottom of the screen, or else you'll get kind of trapped. Here we go, these rolling bugs. In Novice mode, they're not that big of a problem, but in other modes, they will spam the hell out of you with bullets. So you want to destroy those rolling bugs ASAP. Right, and I didn't end up getting the cancel from that yellow bug, so we got terrorized a little bit. So my advice for this stage is just try and get all the cancels you can and blow up the little guys as fast as you can, just to make your life easier, because this stage is very intense. And here we go, power up and a couple of bombs. In this game, the shot power-ups are just a little P, the letter P, instead of the other game where they had an icon. Now it's just a letter. So a bit easier to tell when you actually get one what it is. Anyway, this boss is pretty cool. He has some fun patterns. And some more of those blue outline bugs that we saw in the first game, which is pretty cool. So, there's not really much to say about this boss on Novice mode. Just play to the best of your abilities. Just keep blowing them up. And here we go, he's got these kind of spiny balls that are gonna get shot at you. Just be careful. And there we go. We beat the stage 3 boss. So here we are on stage 4. This is another stage with a ton of cancels. It's really awesome. I just snuck through those bullets there. And again, I love the music on this stage too. But I don't think it's the best song in the game. Okay, so these pillars that shoot these purple bullets at you, kind of in the round pattern, if you blow up those pillars, you will get a cancel, like we saw. And those orange, I think they're supposed to be caterpillars or worms. If you blow those orange guys up, you will get a cancel as well. And those green little grasshoppers, maybe? I'm not sure what they are, but if you blow those big green bugs up on the ground, you will also get a cancel. So there's cancels all over the place, just like the previous stage. So super good music on this stage, and tons of canceling. Makes it an awesome stage. here we go, we've reached the mid-boss. It's a spider. And the spider, again in novice mode, not too much to say about him. Except there's one pattern you have to keep a watchful eye for. Which is right here. He tries to trap you in a web. And thankfully, I destroyed him before he could cause too much trouble. But if you get stuck, you know, in kind of confined in that little area of the web, it's going to be a bad time. And it looks like we also got a score extend. So that, like the original Mushi, there's 2 score extends in this game. And I'd like to note that on higher difficulties, it requires a higher score to get them. So if you're playing on original mode, you'll get them earlier than if you're playing on ultra mode, for example. So in ultra mode, you're going to need a higher score to get those extends than the score you would need on original, or Maniac even. And another comment I'd like to make about Xenia is that the DLC for this game, at least for me, doesn't actually work. So I'd like to add that caveat that maybe it's just my instance of Xenia, but I think it's for everybody's. Replays and DLC on this game do not work. I was able to get DLC on other games to work, but this one just won't work for some reason. Maybe in a future update it'll get fixed out. I don't know. We will see as time goes on. Right, so the DLC for this game, it actually adds the Black Label mode, which I have heard is just insane. But I have never played, so I can't comment myself. And I think there's a second DLC for this game as well. It adds, I want to say 1.01 mode. I'm not entirely sure, because the main mode on this game is 1.5. And I believe the DLC adds 1.01. If I'm wrong, don't quote me on that. And here we go to the Stage 4 boss. It's also pretty cool. Some kind of nasty looking beetle. Right, and he shoots these pink orbs at you. So be careful with those. They kind of rotate around a little bit. This pattern can be kind of crazy. Those little needles are all over the place. And now look at this. All these things are shooting at you. And you're kind of confined in between 2 columns of them. Some more pink orbs, but big this time. So watch out, or you will get stuck between them. Or hit by one. And there we go. Stage 4 boss down. So now we are on our way to Stage 5, the final stage of this game. And personally, my favorite stage of this game. The music on this stage is, in my opinion, the best out of all the stages. Great song. And, you know, this whole stage is just all out bullet hell. And it's really cool. So in a minute we're going to hear the song get really, really good. There we go. Listen to that. Yeah, so this song, really cool. And, you know, as cool as it is, I also think it'd be funny to listen to, like, Freebird or something while you play this stage. That could be fun as well. But, no, the soundtrack in this game is great. The stage is just all out. So we get to blow up these like arches, and the bugs going under the arch. Looks super cool. This pattern is intense. There's such a small area, and you kind of have to stay in there if you'd like to live. So there's some like soldiers riding on bugs. Looks so cool. I do get hit there. I will just say now, I get hit all the time in this stage. And here comes the mid-boss. A dragon. So this dragon will shoot fireballs at you, like any good dragon should. So you want to dodge those. For some reason when I'm playing, I have a hard time like acknowledging fireballs. Especially on that first boss, the dinosaur. Right, so then these giant things will appear from time to time, and they have this super tight pattern, which I pretty much get hit on every single time. I gotta work on micro-dodging that. It is intense. We will be seeing that pattern again throughout this stage. Right, and then there's a bomb. This bomb, they're going to give you a lot of bombs throughout this stage. So you don't have to worry about bombing too much. Obviously don't overdo it, but they'll give you plenty of bombs on this stage, so don't worry. And here we have that tight pattern again. I actually dodged it successfully, but wasn't so lucky on the second one. And look at that, yet another bomb. There's another one of those arches the bug goes under, and there's two guys on there manning turrets. It's really, really cool. Like, I can't say enough good things about this game. It's just awesome. It is definitely skyrocketing on my list of favorite shoot-'em-ups. Like, this is just so cool. Well, and I forgot to mention, I guess I didn't see it, but there's a temple that you can blow up, and it will give you 2 extends. So be sure to collect those. Now, something to keep in mind is on other modes besides Ultra, it's only going to be 1 extend. So if you're playing on Original or Maniac, there will only be 1 extend from blowing up the temple. Right, so now we kind of move backwards into this new area. When you move through here, that's when you know you're approaching the final boss. And because we're playing on Ultra mode, we actually get the true last boss, which is awesome. Something to note, though, because we're on Novice mode, is that the TLB is not going to have all the phases it normally has on other modes in this game. So maybe that's a good thing if you're a novice, but if you want to see everything this game has to offer, you'll have to fight this boss on a higher difficulty. And also in Black Label, I believe there's something called God mode, which is even higher than Ultra mode. And if you play on God mode, you will get a different TLB. So that is for Black Label only. So this final boss, here's a little piece of lore for you. This final boss is actually the mother of Palm, who is the other character in this game. And she's also the mother of Aki, who was the final boss of the original Mushi. So kind of an interesting connection there. So this boss is just riding on top of some kind of massive thing. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool. So here you're kind of confined again in a tight little space. Pretty intense. But thanks to the auto bomb, it's not the worst thing. Yeah, so because of auto bomb, I would actually say that this novice mode is easier than the novice mode on the original Mushi. I think you can kind of see that because I actually it took me a little while to get the clear of Novice Original and the original Mushi, but in this game I just kind of waltzed right into Ultra mode and got the clear. But if I did not have that auto bomb, I can tell you this would not be happening right now. Like, look how many times I've used it in this fight. It's insane. Although, like I said, I would like to clear either the Xbox 360 or arcade mode of this game. Probably Xbox 360 is what I'll start with. So, personally, I find this game a lot cooler than the original Mushi. Not that the original Mushi is not cool. I love that game too. But this one is just fantastic. This pattern gets me every single time. Those red bullets that just kind of go all over the place while you're confined in between this purple stuff. Every time, without fail, I die to it. So there we go, we beat the boss. However, now we have the TLB to fight. Now I noticed when you fight the TLB, at least in Novice mode, I don't know what it's like in all modes, it reuses just the regular boss music. It'd be kind of cool if there was another song, but the regular boss music is still really cool. Right, so like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Palm Abnormal seems to be the best character in this game. I've used him a few times, and his focus shot is really good, really strong. But his regular shot is not so good. But that focus shot is just super good. And there we go. Watch out for those fireballs. For some reason, I've got a really hard time just acknowledging them while I'm playing. Right, so just keep playing to the best of your ability. This TLB is actually pretty difficult, probably the most difficult part of this entire run. Yeah, on pretty much twice in a row right there. Pretty crazy stuff. Now there's this insane pattern. There's those purple bullets shooting at you, and then these little pink spheres circling around. Pretty crazy. And there we go. We have completed defeating the TLB of this game. Pretty intense. Right, so similar to the original Mushi, you also get score bonuses for extra lives and bombs at the end. Yeah, so I skipped the story on account of I can't read it because it's in Japanese. Anyway, that was Mushi Futari Novice Ultra. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, that it can be helpful. In terms of my next video, there's a few clears I could do. I recently got a clear of the original Mushi on Novice Maniac mode. I also have an Escaluda 2 Novice mode No Miss run. And also a Death Smiles 2X level 2 run. So maybe I'll upload some of those. Let me know if you're interested in seeing any of those. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.